I were to ask you, what makes you, you, what would you say? Your parents? Your culture? Your genetics? If so, they would all be right. We tend to identify ourselves by our race, ethnicity, nationality, and our culture. Ethnicity, nationality, and culture are more easily identifiable. But what about race? Race is defined by a person's physical characteristics, such as bone structure and skin, hair, or eye color. Examples are the Celtic, African, Germanic, Native American, Asian, European, and Middle Eastern race, and so much more. Race has been reduced to simply a color, be it black, white, brown, or other, regardless of other physical characteristics. Though race is a good way to categorize a large general group of people, in my opinion, it is not a good way to identify individuals. Let's talk genetics. Genetics is the study of heredity and the variation of inherited characteristics. We get 50% of our genes from each of our parents, and they get 50% from each of theirs, and so on and so on. Let's watch a video about genes, DNA, and chromosomes.
Genes, DNA, and chromosomes are what make you who you are. They are the set of instructions that are given to you by your father and mother. These instructions are in your cells, and all living organisms are composed of cells. There are many different types, like nerve cells and hair cells and skin cells. They all have different shapes and forms, but every cell has the same basic parts. The cell has an outer border called the membrane, which contains a liquid material called cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm is the nucleus, and inside the nucleus are chromosomes. In humans, each cell normally contains 23 pairs of chromosomes, for a total of 46. 22 of these pairs, called autosomes, look the same in both males and females. The 23rd pair, the sex chromosomes, differ between males and females. Females have 2 copies of the X chromosome, while males have one X and one Y chromosome. The chromosomes are really long strings of DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is shaped like a ladder that's been twisted. This shape is called a double helix. The steps of the ladder are made of 4 bases. Adenine is A, thymine is T, guanine is G, and cytosine is C. A stretch of the DNA is called a gene. Your body reads the genes and the letters like a recipe and builds protein. The order of the bases in the DNA, along with the length and sequence of the gene, determines the size and shape of the protein it builds. The size and shape of the protein determine the function it will have in your body. Proteins make up cells, cells make up tissue, and tissue makes up organs, like your eyes and your skin. So the genes determine what you are, a cow, an apple, or a human, and what you will look like, the color of your hair, your skin, your eyes, and so on.
But do you know the one thing there is no gene for? Race. Social scientists agree, race is a social construct and has no biological basis. So what is skin color? Skin color is produced by the human gene SLC24A5. It was found out that this gene has only 2 variations. The descendants that are European have one type of amino acid called threonine, while everyone else has another type of amino acid called alanine. Some individuals actually carry both amino acids, and their skin color falls somewhere in the middle. Scientists still aren't sure why Europeans tend to have lighter skin, but it is believed that it is to help them boost vitamin D production because of the area they live in having less sun. So what separates people by color, in truth, is the type and amount of a particular amino acid attached to the very same gene we all carry. In addition, where some of our earliest ancestors lived on this planet and how the sun affects that area. Nothing more. So who am I? 2 months ago, I would have said I'm 25% Italian, 13% Irish, 12% English, and 50% Hispanic from Spanish origin. That's how I identified myself. When you see me, can you see my ethnicities? In July, my husband and I took a DNA test with Ancestry.com. Today, I see myself differently. I'm actually 2% North African, 13% Native American, 84% European, and less than 1% Middle Eastern. Although humans are sometimes divided into races, the morphological variation between races is not indicative of major differences in DNA. For example, recent genetic studies show skin color may drastically change in as few as 100 generations, spanning 2,500 years, as a result of environmental influences. Furthermore, the DNA of two humans chosen at random generally varies by less than 0.1%. This is less genetic variation than any other type of hominids, leading some scientists to describe all humans as belonging to the same race, the human race.